Hello and welcome to the final tutorial of part 1 data preprocessing. We finally completed all the steps that there is to do to prepare any data set on which we will build our machine learning models, and now what we only need to do left is to prepare the data preprocessing template, because we learned a few stuff. We learned how to import the libraries, to import the data set, to take care of missing data, to encode categorical data, to split the data set into the training set and the test set, and to apply feature scaling to put all of our variables on the same scale. However, in the data preprocessing template, we're not going to include all of these. We're only going to include the importing the libraries. Then of course you need to import the data set. Then regarding missing data, I just wanted to show you how to take care of that in case you have some missing data in your data set, in your work. So we are not going to include this in the templates. It's just good to know how to take care of this. But then we will focus on the machine learning models themselves, and if in your work experience you encounter missing data, you know how to handle this, any missing data issues. Then as for categorical data, we won't include it either in the template because we're going to find very few examples of data where we have to encode the data. There will be some examples, but we won't include it in the templates because our data sets are going to be well prepared so that we can mainly focus on the machine learning models and get the maximum fun. And then, of course, we will include this in the template, splitting the dataset into the training set and the test set, because that's a very important step. You need to split your dataset between training and test because you need to evaluate your model on a different set than the set on which you built your model. And feature scaling. Okay, so feature scaling, I hesitated to include it in the template, but we are going to include it, only we're going to put that as comment. Because you're going to see that there are several libraries in R and Python, and some of them require us to apply feature scaling to the data, and some of them don't. So most of them don't actually. Most of them take care of that for you. You don't have to do it manually. But you will see that some libraries don't apply the feature scaling. I won't tell you which models there are right now because I will let you find out the surprise, but keep that in mind and you will see that sometimes we will have to use feature scaling. Okay, so let's start making the template. It's going to be very quick. So let's make it first on Python. Alright, so what did we say? Importing the libraries? Yes, we keep it. Importing the dataset? Yes, that's a compulsory step. If we don't import the dataset, we cannot make any machine learning models because the model won't have anything to learn. Then taking care of missing data. Okay, that was just to show you, so we are going to remove this. Alright. However, I put separate Python and R files in the part 1 data preprocessing folder. Just in case you need to take care of missing data, you can always use this code. It's in a separate file, but we won't include it in the template. Alright, now encoding categorical data. Okay, so we will encounter very few examples where we will need to encode categorical data. So same for the missing data, we're going to exclude it from the template, and I put it in a separate file. Okay, so the template is getting ready. Of course, we're keeping this section, splitting the dataset into the training set and the test set. That's absolutely necessary. There will be one or two examples where we won't do it because the context will be quite particular, but in general, you will need to do this. And finally, feature scaling. Okay, so as I said at the beginning of this tutorial, we are going to keep that, but we are going to put that in a multi-line comments because most of the time we won't need to do feature scaling because feature scaling is a tool included most of the time in the machine learning libraries. Okay, so to put something as a multi-line comment in Python, you have to put all this section between 3 double quotes. So just like this, 3, and then you have to close it with another 3 double quotes. Alright, and now all this section is in comment. Perfect! So the template is ready, we can save it. I already called it Data Preprocessing Template. We can save it and now the template is ready. So what we'll do at the beginning of every machine learning model is that we will take all of these from this Data Preprocessing Template Python file, copy this, and we will put it at the beginning of our machine learning models before building the model itself. So you will see it will be very practical. This will save us a lot of time and we won't have to change much stuff. Like for example, sometimes we will change the test size here. We will have to change sometimes the index here for the y dependent variable because we might have more than 3 independent variables, because as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3 independent variables, but we might have less than that or more than that. So we will have sometimes to change this index here. However, most of the time we won't need to change this, because the -1 here means that we are removing the last column of our data set. So that means that we're taking all the feature variables, that is all the independent variables. So we should be fine with this. And of course, we will need to change the name of our data set. And that's all. So basically, in worst case scenario, we will only need to change 3 things: the name of the data set, the index in the dependent variable column, and maybe the test size. All right, so that's it for Python. The data preprocessing template is ready. I can't wait to show you how it will save us a lot of time to make our machine learning models. And now what we're going to do is do the same thing on R. You see, it's going to be the same template. Let's do it right now. Let's jump to R. All right, so here is all the steps that we did together. So importing the dataset, yes, we're keeping it, of course. Taking care of missing data, that was just to show you we won't need it in the future. So, but you will probably need it in your future, but in the future of this course we won't need it. So we will remove it. Encoding categorical data, same here. We will have to do it once or twice, but not all the time, so we will remove it. And as I told you, I'm putting this in a separate file so that you can still use it if you need it for your work. All right, and now I think we have everything. Splitting the data set into the training set and test set, of course we're keeping that. And feature scaling, as per Python, we're going to put that in comment. So the 3 double quotes is not a way to put multi-line comments in R. So unfortunately we cannot do it. What we need to do is, this is a good trick, you select the 2 lines here and then you press Command and Control plus Shift plus C, and that puts all your lines in comment. And eventually we'll just add a final touch to this template, which is the case where we need to take a subset of our data set, and in that case we will add the line dataset equals, then we take the same data set and we use the square brackets to select the indexes of the columns we are interested in to build our model. So let's just put some numbers here, and if we need to select specific columns of interest in our future data sets, we will change those indexes. But for now, let's just put this line in comment. Alright, so the template is ready on R as well. We are ready to start our machine learning models. You have no idea how I'm excited about that. I can't wait to show you how it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to make awesome predictions. You know, we will have some kind of scenarios, business problems, and we will have to solve them, and we will use the power of machine learning to solve these problems. You will see how machine learning is powerful. It gives you amazing predictions, amazing results, and keep in mind you will never be lost, because we will always know what we're coding, we will always visualize it. There will always be some visual graphics of what we're doing when we make every machine learning model. So I can't wait to start this with you. This was the boring part, but a very important part to do, so that's great that we did it. And now it's time to have fun. So thank you for watching this data preprocessing tutorials. Congratulations for completing this part. You are now ready to make machine learning models, and I look forward to seeing you in the next part. Until then, enjoy machine learning.